here in the first half. And we are underway in this Ivy season opener. Shell over the head of Weil, and that one's going to skip underneath the foot of Rahill. And they'll say she never touched it, so it'll be a Harvard throw. Crimson wearing the blacks again with the white numerals, attacking left to right. That ball played back to center, and they try to switch fields, intercepted by McGuire. A touch for Weil, laves it off. McGuire, top of that circle atop the 18, has it stripped, and Hasbo comes away with the ball. Be interesting to see. I'm assuming we're going to see a couple of teams shot out of a cannon to start the game before the energy level maybe settles a little bit down. Again, Coach Hamblin saying that, that they are a team that has got to find ways to get the results, that, they can have as many touches and sequences and good passing that they have, but they've got to find a way to get the ball in the back of the net. And Kia McNeil saying that, if they want to be pretty and methodical in their build-up, we've got to come out and impose our style and disrupt. And we'll see which chess game starts to emerge in this first half.
And you said the pace was going to be fast and sort of frenetic in the first 10 minutes or so as both teams try to impose their will. Which team survives that first push and then is able to settle into their game the rest of the way is a big question.
Chesney Robinson was called for a foul. Sydney Farnham stepping over the ball. She will restart for her center back, August Hunter. Over to the left side. Over to Gordon, who keeps it moving. They'll send it up as Vandeninde, and that will run. A little too much on it for a goal kick. We mentioned it's a beautiful night here in southern New England. The temperatures dropping into the 60s, probably be in the low 60s, early, maybe high 50s by the time this one comes to an end. A little bit of a breeze blowing towards us, so more of a swirly-whirly breeze than one that's going to be at any of the players' backs. As the goal kick comes away, headed down in the midfield. Robinson up ahead was looking for Métis. That's Layla Shell again. Over to the right side, trying to connect with McGuire. Stepping into it is Gordon, and she'll be forced back on that far wing. Golan up that left side and deflects off of Shell on the slide. Earlier today, Princeton leading off their Ivy schedule with a 3-0 drubbing of Cornell. And it was, I believe, Penn and Columbia, the other game today. And Columbia handling the Quakers easily. That one also a 3-0 score. Yale is up in Hanover taking on Dartmouth. The second half of a doubleheader in Hanover. The Dartmouth men dispatching of Brown earlier this afternoon. Set piece for the Crimson. They're going to send over Irina Hiensdottir Gonzalez, the sophomore from Kópavogur, Iceland. Been there before, Paul?
I have not been there. Mike, are you quite the traveler?
No, never to Iceland. It's on my bucket list, though, as the ball comes to the near wing. And that's a nice stick by Lexi Quinn. I'd imagine everybody tells me it's a beautiful place. And if there's anybody back home in Iceland watching some of these Crimson players, we thank you for joining us and hope things are beautiful in one of the great island nations of the world. Corner kick from the near wing. Harvard flashing out. A couple of Bears nearing the ball. Here comes the set piece. The good ball headed down. Quinn, little miscommunication, but Schlosser knocks it away. Rahill will touch it back, and August Hunter sends it in. Bella Shop there. A little bit of a nervy moment there inside the 6 off that corner kick.
Yeah, ball remained free, and Harvard just looking for somebody to put it in the back of the net. Couldn't find it, but Harvard, a lot of these chances you expect are going to come off of these corner kicks. They've dominated their opponents 46, now 47-24 on corners this season so far.
Little hands in the back to Layla Shell. Will draw a whistle, and we'll have a first restart of the game for the Bears, the referees, and the Tangerine kits tonight. About 5 minutes gone here in the first half. And it'll be played by Cardoza for Quinn. We've seen Cardoza in a couple different positions, but she's on the back line this evening as that one bounces off of Leshnik. The for a sophomore from San Francisco. Here comes the throw in from Trenor to Weil. Keeps it moving for Okonye. Bears trying to unlock the sophomore, and she will pick up a corner kick, deflecting that off Sydney Farnham. Set pieces have been dangerous at times for the Bears. They're going to bring up Carly Schlosser. She had an Olympico against Northeastern last week. The Bears last time out, talk about getting an offense unlocked, they put 6 behind Northeastern, including Wiles' 2 and Schlosser's Olympico.
And it did not have a slow start at all in their 3 goals in the first half and 3 more in the second.
Here's Schlosser's corner. It's in front of the goal, and, whoa, boy. Dancing back against the goal line was Stewart. She was able to catch that ball as she was falling back into the net. There was a whistle, but here's another look. You'll see there is some contact. Actually, there wasn't much contact. They called it on Cardoza, I think, but there wasn't much there. As the Crimson will build out of the back. Headed down by Schlosser, out of bounds. They were trying to connect with Golan, the native of Toronto, for the Crimson. Mentioned the wind. We're going to have to get paperweights on our notes here up in the press box.
Like the response from Brown, though, coming back down the other end of the field. They get a quality chance as well, and it's Stewart who gets her arms up through, 3-4 Bears to snag it out of the air and keep let the air out of the balloon a little bit.
Moving up was Quinn. Ball sent upfield by Trenor, looking to send Weil. Hunter comes up, and there's going to be a foul called on Weil. Referee's calling this one a little tight in the early goings as it's played back by Vandeninde. She has it in the midfield, looking to drop for Gonzalez, and now all the way back for August Hunter. Hunter puts it on a line, trying to send down the near wing Rahill. Will Rahill get there? She will. Puts it across. A dangerous spot. And Schlosser with Hasbo there. Ball headed again. Hasbo brings it down. They kick it towards the net. Off her line comes Bella Shop. Not sure that's going to go in the books as a shot because it was fairly weak as Shop was able to dive on it. But again, you see why Harvard can be very dangerous on the counterpunch.
Well, get the stop from Stewart and then able to push off the whistle. That was dangerous, a pretty cross. Another example, Harvard just unable to get the ball back past Shop. Didn't take any chances.
Turn in the midfield, it was Weil there. Cardoza will turn, gives it a settle, and plays all the way back for Shop. Shop finds Quinn, and the Bears will start to build. Working right to left, wearing the home whites. That ball sent to the right side, headed down by Rahill again. A turn by Trenor, tried to leave it off for Quinn. Strips back from Leshnik, trying to turn and getting around. Here come the Bears. That's a foul. And that might have been very close to cartable as Mady was on her way. It's a professional foul in the midfield. But, you pull somebody down from behind when they're starting to break. Sometimes you see the referee go to his pocket. Not the case this time, however. Layla Shell will take a free kick for the Bears. They'll set it up, bring up some of their size. We've seen Trenor and Quinn both be targets on plays like this. That one's on a line. Mady got a foot to it. Bouncing back. Good turn by Francois. And a nice takeaway by Carly Schlosser. She'll go all the way back for Shell. Shell dribbling will build all the way back to Shop. As we are about 9 minutes gone here in a scoreless first half. Brown Bears, Harvard Crimson, Ivy opener. Harvard 4 wins, 4 draws, no losses on this young season. For the Bears, 3 wins, 2 losses, 3 draws. Sandwiching a couple of victories around that loss to Ohio State out in Columbus. But answering the bell after that shutout with 6 against Northeastern did the Bears. That one's off, looked like the face of Schlosser on that wing. Turned by Robinson, taken away, and here comes Hasbo. Tries to squirt one through, and it's going to have a little too much pace on it for Lechnik. As off her line again, Shop reading the play well, Paul.
I like the idea, though, of trying to thread the needle to Lechnik. Another step there. That's a great look on Shop, who, again, comes out of the goal, not taking any chances, covers. Field starting to open up a little bit for both Harvard and Brown. These passes are starting to get there.
Punt. Sent to upfield now on the second touch. Right side, McGuire making a run. And that one's going to head out of bounds off Schlosser. And that's going to be I think a Brown throw-in, much to the chagrin of the Crimson. And I'm not going to begin to speculate. Way the heck over there. They throw it in for Weil, glances off her scalp, and the Crimson look to play Gonzalez back for Hunter. She leads it out. Trenor heads it back towards center. Gonzalez brings it down to feet. Stepping two comes Robinson. Works toward the near side. Trenor has a player behind her in support, gives it to Quinn, and she'll send it up looking for Weil. Weil trying to turn, headed down. Brings it down to feet, does Weil. Robinson and Hasbo collide. Leshnick near side. Trenor barrels her over, and that'll be a foul. A little bit too much handsy in the back of the numbers of Leshnick was Trenor. And get another look at this foul. There you can see her hands up, and it might not have been the initial contact, but when you see the arms extend.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for. You see the extension, and whistle typically follows.
Rahill and Hasbo, a little give and go on the near wing. Here Mady takes it away and then had it lost to Gonzalez. Pushes it up the right side. Rahill on her horse. Chasing back is Quinn. And Quinn's going to do a nice job of turning there. Here comes Francois, bumps her off. Robinson centers, and Shell plays it out for Okonye left side. Okonye tries to get a touch, sends it down. Weil will chase Sydney Farnham. She'll go all the way back to Stewart, who will settle at the 6. Both teams have had their challenges. Nobody with a shot on goal as of yet. We're 12 minutes in a scoreless first half.
I'm going to say that for a first half that has not featured any shots to this point, other than shots on goal, it feels like a faster game with more chances than perhaps the stat sheet indicates.
Yeah, we've seen a few fouls, 6 combined. That's really the only numbers to speak of in the early goings. Hasbo, Rahill, another nice stick there by Robinson to lock in the Crimson, or try to lock them in. Throwing up the near side comes to Leshnick. Cuts back, chased by Trenor, plays it across. A good look for Aaron Gordon, the first year from Sydney, Australia. Pushes the ball upfield with a pass for Francois. She finds Vandeninde, and that will roll out of bounds off of, I think, Kara McGuire for a Harvard throw. There seems to be some confusion. I think Harvard thought it was off of Harvard. Brown thought it was off of Brown, but it is, in fact, a Harvard throw. Vandeninde on the left side. Golan. And Hunter. Up over midfield. Cardoza, a header with purpose, finds McGuire, who fights off Vandeninde. A little too much cheese on that one. It's going to run for a goal kick.
And some of that pace, you talked about it, Mike, coming out of the gates in Ivy League play, wanting to, impose your will at the start of your conference play, and seen both teams sort of be a little bit more aggressive than maybe we'll see a little bit later on.
Well, both of these teams have had pretty good non-conference schedules. Again, Harvard taking on a whole slew of teams that played in the national tournament last year. They already have had games against Santa Clara, Pepperdine, Marshall, UMass Northeastern, and again, coming away at 4-0-4 through their first 8. They had the win over Marshall, and then the win over Northeastern 4-0, 4-2 over Milwaukee, and then draws against Northwestern and Santa Clara. Ball in front. Okonye was trying to get there. He gives the thumbs up as it was a good service, but just a little too far ahead of her.
Yeah, another woulda, coulda, shoulda for Brown. But back to the Harvard start to the schedule, and I think both teams can speak to this. They're better than their records indicate. Harvard's drawn 4 times, but that draw against Santa Clara, the number 10 team in the country, where the stats don't look like they're working your way, but you get some clutch goals and some strong performance in the second half to earn that tie. That's very impressive.
That ball deflects out of bounds off the foot of Gordon on that left wing. Weil tries to send Mady top of the 18 now to the far wing, and that's going to be a corner kick. Good closeout by August Hunter to turn that into a corner kick. And the Bears are going to send Kira McGuire over to take the service as the first third of the first half is already in the books, and we're scoreless. The Bears will bring up Shell, Cardozo, Weil, and Quinn. The players left back here are Schlosser and Robinson, and this time nobody in front of the goal. Here comes an outswinger from the goal. It's headed down by Quinn. Can Mady get there? She cannot. Francois knocks it away for Harvard. Robinson will settle through the kickoff circle. Schlosser backs up on the ball, has McGuire to her right, takes her space. Delivers to McGuire on the flank. She has some room. Picked up by Gordon. Serves it again. Coming to the ball was Cardozo. Looked like Shell gets a drive to it. It was blocked. They set it back for Robinson. Unable to pull the trigger. Good close there by the defense. And the Bears will send it to Schlosser, who will again load up McGuire right side. But she tried to turn. The ball had a little too much pace, and the ball turned over to Harvard. A good sequence there for Brown, building off that corner kick. I think Quinn would have liked to have maybe put that ball closer to goal instead of along maybe toward the penalty stripe. But nonetheless, a good look. And that ball sent away. Another throw-in, this time for Brown.
And it's a strong stretch for the Bears, especially on the attack the last couple minutes. The first time we've seen either team have any sustained time in the attacking third, getting multiple looks, multiple good passes.
Ball bounces, comes to McGuire again right side, as the Bears have really been sustaining on that far wing. August Hunter nowhere to go. And see if the Bears can get a switch. They have Trenor and Okonye kind of creeping in. That ball's going to bounce on Okonye, put some pressure on, and again sent away and off McGuire for a goal kick. It was nicely played initially by Harvard's Sydney Farnham.
I'm going to say Farnham does a good job working that ball back away and turning what looks like it's going to be a corner kick into a goal kick and getting Harvard out of, wouldn't call it trouble, but allows the Crimson to be the aggressors a little bit.
Bears pulling up. We'll see if Harvard goes with the short goal kick. They do. Here comes Weil on Hunter, who will send it away. Trenor waiting on the ball, judged it well. Headed down Gonzalez, bumped into by Robinson. Shell, and there's going to be a play on called as Vandeninde comes away with the transition. Over to the left side, what a move. Back to the ball, though, comes Shell to deny Golan on the transition. Ball is sent out of bounds. That'll be a throw-in for Harvard, but you see the Crimson like that quick counterattack. 18 minutes gone here in the first half. No score for our entire hardworking ESPN team. My broadcast partner, Paul Lambert. My name is Mike Rubin. What a beautiful night. We've had a pretty good stretch of good weather here.
Well, this is a late September, early fall New England evenings in a nutshell. Of course, in about a month, I'll be begging for 85-degree July days.
That's Quinn. Out ahead for Okonye and tried to dial it up. And the Bears happy. The connection wasn't there, but the Bears seemed pretty happy with the idea in that sequence.
I think the Bears are happy with a lot of the ideas. You talked about it, Mike, that Brown wants to play faster, and it feels like, I think we talked about it, that it's been a fast-paced first half so far. So if you're looking at playing the first half of this match on your terms, that's been Brown so far.
Schlosser able to recover and deny Golan. It's a good defensive play by the Brown back on that right side. Throw in for Harvard. They don't have the long throw. They seem to have a couple players. Vanden Einde checking to the ball. Will touch back for Golan. Golan picked up by McGuire. Dishes to center for Hean's daughter Gonzalez. She has range, and it's closed out by Robinson on the deflection. Near side, the touch to the right side for Ray Hill. Looking to take Trenor. Tries to get to the end line and draws the corner kick. That was well played by Ray Hill, the sophomore from New Hartford, New York. Did a good job of turning there, getting toward the end line, and you could almost see that corner kick developing.
The sophomore has worked her way into getting more and more minutes so far this season, up over 500 already in 2024. Had a goal against Northeastern, making her 8th start in as many games she's played in this season.
Here's the corner. It's played low for Hasbo. She plays it back. Gonzalez to Hasbo again. Picked up by, that's a good ball. Vanden Einde cuts back, and that's knocked away by Robinson. I'm sure Chris Hamlin wanted somebody to pull the trigger. Sent back in by August Hunter toward the end line. Quinn had to put a head to it. Hasbo beaten by Trenor, who takes it away. She plays it. The 1-2. Can Okonye get there? No, she cannot. And it'll be a throw-in for Harvard. Ray Hill to take it. Tosses it in. Little touch from Mady. Turned by Francois. Native of Laval, Quebec. Drops it off. Okonye gives it away. Right back to Francois. She'll touch for Farnham. Okonye near sideline. That might be it's going to be off of Okonye, not Francois. In front of the Harvard bench, or just next to it.
Yeah, almost ended up catching, I think it was the inner leg of Francois right along the touchline.
Ray Hill throws it in. Good look for Hasbo. Almost got a string on the ball. And good take there on the tackle by Robinson. Ray Hill throwing it in again for the Crimson. Pretty good crowd on hand, as you might expect here this evening. Great weather, 2 storied programs, rivals, and defending champs in their own right. Ball played all the way back. Cutting is Gordon to the left side. And Golan has it stripped by Schlosser. So after probably about 8 or 10 minutes of sustained pressure for the Bears, the last 6 or 7 minutes have been, or maybe 5 minutes, have been a little bit more of Harvard, as Mady has it taken at midfield. Gonzalez through midfield, looks to the right, and sends that with a little too much English past Ray Hill for a Brown throw. Bears look like they're going to be making a change, and it looks like it's going to be McGuire off, and Isla Shaheen will check in. Shaheen, a goal and a couple assists, has the speedster from nearby Barrington, Rhode Island.
Yeah, I've seen her primarily in the starting lineup so far this season. Did not get the start tonight, but coming in early on in the first half. Also coming off that first career goal. Had it against the Huskies in the Bears' last match.
Working up this near side, Trenor will take the throw in for Brown. Ball glances off a while, and she's going to send Shaheen. Shaheen tries to get dangerous. It's turned away by Gordon. Nicely played by Gordon. Recovered in the midfield. Ooh, could have been a dangerous play on Hasbo, and yeah, high kick is called, and it'll be a free kick for the Bears. And this is, sort of a decision. Sometimes the Bears will just play this quick and do the quick restart. In this case, it looks like they're going to put it down to serve.
Go back to it. That was a big play by Gordon, who as a first year has worked into the starting lineup, has gotten a ton of minutes for the Crimson so far. Maybe saves the best look of the game so far from Shaheen.
Schlosser will put the ball back into play. And on a line, was looking for Cardoza. That's just over her head for a goal kick. And, to go back to it, I mean, some of these changes for Harvard have been out of necessity. They have, in the lineup today, and they're on their roster, they had 6 scratches due to some form of health or injury. It looks like Francois has to go over to the bench. I think she has a cut. And And they're going to be retaping that, so they'll restart play. It's a goal kick for the Crimson, so it doesn't count as a substitution. They have 10 on the field. She had her leg kind of bandaged, did Francois, and I think that's the issue. They're rebandaging it. August Hunter over the head of Quinn. Cardoza backing it up. Will turn all the way to Bella Shop. All played through. Can Shaheen get there? August Hunter getting back. Shaheen towards the end line. Runs out of real estate. And you saw the little B-button turbo there out of Shaheen. When she wants to turn it on, that's going to be a foot race all day long as Francois checks back in. There's Shaheen.
That's a little dangerous extra speed, too. The leg's about 20 minutes fresher than everybody else out on the field. And a couple of times that Shaheen's speed already in her couple of minutes in the game have been impactful.
The goal kick is played short. Hunter again. Trenor couldn't get there as Leshnik hits it out of bounds. And you're going to wonder how that plays into the calculus of this game. Harvard certainly has a shorter bench. Kia McNeil has not been afraid to go pretty deep at times this season. Hands in the back of Okonye. She's looking for the call. It doesn't come. And she might have needed to fall down. Rahill was on her back, but not too much there, according to our official. Hasbo. Ooh, hummingbirds all over the field, doesn't she? The touch comes to Wild. Drop back, Mady. Top of the box. Works her way into the area. Okonye cuts back. Looks to serve, and that'll be a corner kick as she just did a number on poor Hasbo. Hasbo was going one way, and you saw that cut back quickly to the left.
Earns that corner kick for Brown. Another quality chance off another set piece. Makes 1-2 moves. Ends up being off the leg of Farnham. Now Brown starting to stack these chances up again the last couple minutes.
Third corner of the game for the Bears. This will come from Schlosser. The in-swinger is over the head of the goaltender. Headed back almost into her own goal by Leshnik. Okonye on the reset. Comes back to Mady. Looks to drive. Layla Shell was offside. Shell was offside, so it was the proper play. I think, that looked a little bit worse in the end for Harvard than it was, but that's because the flag went up and the Crimson had stopped their momentum.
Well, that was almost disaster off the set piece. This would have been the second straight game for Harvard with an own goal, if not for the leg of Vandeninde.
A turn back by Okonye. Dices Hasbo a second time left side. Trenor, Trenor Rahill out of bounds. That should be a Brown throw. Oh, the center referee overrules the AR, and now Harvard will make a change, and Auslag Gunlestadter will check in, replacing Francois. Auslag Gunlestadter out of Egilsstaðir, Iceland. One of a handful of Icelandic players on the roster for Harvard. Robinson stripping from Rahill, and a nice stick by Robinson, but that is going to be a Harvard throw-in. There's two balls on the field, so they're going to have to redo this throw-in. Kind of took a weird bounce off the boards there, the stone edifice to our left. Hasbo, and now Weil. Little layoff for Mady. Mady couldn't quite pull the trigger. Bounces it out to center. Golan on the ball. Leshnik, who's switched now. She was on the near wing, is now up top. Hasbo finds Leshnik. They want to feed it over to the left side. That's August Hunter making the run all the way up. On the left, serves it. Past Leshnik. Hasbo wanted to pull the trigger. Robinson for Mady, and now out to the right for Shaheen. Bears are working 3-on-4 here, however, making the run. Trenor on the left side. Shaheen turns, corner, kick coming. But did you see Trenor coming out of that back line, Paul?
I was pointing. She came flying up the left wing.
Good job by the Crimson to get back. Again, Gordon It was Shaheen trying to victimize her on that far wing, but here comes Schlosser as the Bears talk about getting something out of nothing. They were 2 on 4, maybe 3 if you counted Trenor, and they get a corner out of the deal. 4th corner of the game now for Harvard. This time it'll be Schlosser on the far corner. More of an outswinging motion from that far wing. It's a good ball. It's out near the 6. Headed through! No, the flag is up. They're going to call Cardoza for a push-off, and that's going to take a goal off the board. I don't know how much was there. You can sometimes call contact on every corner kick. We'll see if we get another look in a moment when we can come back to that. So that erases what could have been a finish, and that is going to be a Harvard throw. Here's a look at that chance, folks. The Schlosser corner finds Cardoza. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I guess her hands were in the back. There's not much there, though. That's
well, we talked about it earlier.
He's calling it tight, yeah.
Well, we've seen the whistles. That's the second corner we've seen where there's been some contact. The first one, there was contact around Stewart, but
yeah, her hands were in the back. There's no question about it, but not a ton there, and enough for the official, who's again been pretty consistent. Called it tight both ways. I think anytime he's seen hands up, it's been a call. Weil couldn't handle it and sent away over the head of Cardoza, who settles. Here's Lexi Quinn. Out ahead, Okonye has space. Trenor to her left. Cuts back to center. Okonye dribbles it in. A good look. Shaheen couldn't get it off. Here's Robinson. Lays it off for Layla Shell. Shell drives a shot. It's blocked by Van den Einde. Bounces back. Ball with some English there. Shell with some hands on her. Shakes Hasbo. Was looking for a call. It didn't come. Kia McNeil's frustrated. Van den Einde on the ball. Sets it back. Weil takes it away. Bears have numbers. Weil leaves it off. Shaheen, the save by Stewart. Shaheen again. Mady heads it down. Okonye cuts back. And we are going to have a stoppage as 2 players collided. Mady and one of the Harvard players, both, it seemed like they hit heads. And that's Hasbo for Harvard and Mady for Brown. The officials, seeing the collision, immediately stopped play. The Bears were knocking on the door. Here's another look as they tend to the injured players. Shaheen.
Oh, what a save by Stewart initially. But
yeah.
There's the heads colliding.
Yeah, they knocked heads. Yeah, that's the last thing you want to see on either side, as Hasbo and Mady collide. What a great stop by Stewart, who makes the first save of the game count for sure. Again, it's been a game of ebbs and flows. The first, maybe 5 or 10 minutes of the game, I think, Paul, pretty even. Then you got 8 or 9 minutes of sustained Brown pressure. Back the other way for Harvard, and now back the other way for Brown. Hasbo walking off under her own power, Métis as well, but, anytime you see a head, you get a little nervous. Certainly both players will go into a concussion protocol, and we'll see. Hasbo seems to be okay jogging off under her own power. I think Mady got the worst end of it. There's Mady right there. She might have a shiner from that one. And it doesn't appear that Hasbo is going to miss too much time. See if the Bears make a change. They get Gianna DePriest up, and they also, I think, had Isabella Chukwu ready to check in. Both of them had been warming up. Both teams are down to 10 players. The Bears had the ball at the time of the whistle. Okonye was dribbling at the top of the box, and I think that's what some of the dissent from a couple hundred referees in the stands are indicating, Paul. So Gianna DePriest checks in for Naja Métis, and that does not count. Naja Métis, that does not count as a substitution off if she wanted to go back in, or if Coach McNeil wanted to put her back in. And now here comes Hasbo. none worse for the wear.
That's a good sign for Harvard. We were talking about already a smaller roster than Brown playing shorthanded. Our player to watch, Hasbo, not a piece you want to lose.
Midfield, ball played to Gonzalez, and now right side Ray Hill for the Crimson. As that sequence for the Crimson, a jersey tug on Trenor. The referee saying, hands down. Here comes Weil, back to the ball. It's Hasbo. Right side, Rahill. Rahill dribbles through DePriest. That's a good look. Turns it to the right side. Leshnik can't catch up to it, and it'll be a Brown throw-in. We mentioned Harvard's shorthanded. Jade Rose, a scratch. Vanessa Freley is out. Olaf Christensdottir out. Amy Koenig is out. Lauren Muniz and Hilda Haknadador is out. So that's a handful of players right there that could do some damage for the Crimson. Some pretty good soccer players. That one glances off of Shaheen, and it'll be reset by Gordon as we head into the final 12 and a half minutes of a scoreless first half.
And that's a Harvard roster that has 24 players on it. And so when you've got 6 or 7 players who are out, that's going to have more of an impact than when you've got that 30, 31 player roster that Brown has.
Well, and 3 of the players that are left are goaltenders, and 2 of them haven't seen a minute as Rahill turns that across and miss hit. As the Bears were able to disrupt was Trenor, and that's a goal kick. You go back to that stoppage for the injury, and again, I don't fault the injury, but again, Okonye with the ball working across as Shukwu will replace Okonye. Harvard has used that little stoppage as just an opportunity to stop the Bears' momentum because it seemed like Brown had been able to impose a little bit more of its will over the previous 3 or 4 minutes, a couple dangerous chances.
Well, you think 10 seconds before that, Stewart's laid out trying to keep the ball from getting to the back of the net. So absolutely, Harvard, a chance to sit down, breathe a little bit, and say, let's get this straightened out. Let's reestablish our terms in the rest of this half.
Shukwu for Quinn. Turns. Robinson. Shukwu. Robinson right to left. Trenor on the wing. Ahead, keeps it moving. Shukwu left side. Continues to make the run. Rahill getting back for Harvard. She thinks about how to take her and couldn't. Nice stick. Really heady play by Rahill. Now she does kick it out towards midfield. That ball never went out. That ball almost had eyes to stay between the stripes, but really nice play initially by Rahill to not fall victim to any of the fancy footwork of Shukwu. Weil tries to head it down, trying to be, that's a high kick on Vandeninde. Almost caught DePriest. Out to the right side, headed down. Hasbo towards midfield. Cardoza, second touch will go all the way back to Bella Shop, and the Bears will reset. Cardoza, Shop, gives it to her, sends it upfield, trying to make the run, but headed down by Farnham. Trying to check to it was Robinson, and they're going to get a foul on Hasbo was checking to the ball and saw the worst end of that. Hasbo's going to be marked by every team she plays against. One of the most talented soccer players in all of the Ivy League, which certainly established itself as a power conference last year. 4 teams all advancing not only to the national tournament, but the second round. And talk to Chris Hamlin about the league in general, and he indicated that, while the league's RPI this year, not necessarily where some of the coaches would like it to be, the fact that the Bears, the Crimson, and their Ancient 8 mates have been able to put together such challenging non-league schedules does speak, in fact, to the conference as a whole.
Yeah, I think it speaks to the respect that these programs are getting from the rest of the country, and also how they're performing in those games. They're not going out there and losing 4-0, 5-0.
No,
these are competitive matches.
Here's Sydney Farnham, works to the near wing for Rahill. Harvard last year climbed as high as 11 in the RPI. Rahill right side. They won the Ivy title with a victory over Columbia here That was a Columbia team nobody really scored against down the stretch, and they opened their conference play with an impressive 3-0 victory today over Penn. DePriest trying to send it through. It's a good ball. Over the head of Weil. Shukwu, left side. Has Trenor making the run. Can she get it to her? She can't, but Harvard helps out the Bears. That one sent out of bounds by Gunlashdotter. Thrown in, Weil. Sets it back. And again knocked out of bounds by Gunlashdotter. And it'll be another throw in for the Bears. Trenor will take it. See who shows to her. They have Robinson to her right. Shukwu kind of right in front of her. And they throw it in looking to Weil, who's sandwiched around 3 Crimson players. Layla Shell gets a foot to it. Nice touch there by Shukwu, back for Robinson. Stripped, Hasbo, taken away, dribbles it around Shukwu to the near sideline. That ball almost glanced out of bounds. Trenor on it, all the way back to Quinn. She'll turn and play it for Cardoza. Cardoza deking around Jasmine Leshnick. A touch for DePriest. Over to the right side, Schlosser. Buzzing around is Golan for the Crimson. And the Bears will slow things down, settling it as Quinn. On a line, Shukwu has Trenor, gets it to her. She has space. Gunlashdotter will pick her up. Trenor, the turn, and the corner kick. Trenor took the worst end of that one. It was a good closeout, really hard, well-timed tackle by the senior from Iceland as Gunlashdotter came across. Watch this.
And it's Trainer working up the left wing. How about the effort? You mentioned it from Gunlashdotter. Closes in and turns what would have been a quality cross into Brown having to settle for the corner kick.
Here comes the corner. It'll be an in-swinger from the right foot of Schlosser. Puts it on a line. It's a good ball. Headed through, and scored! Layla Shell found herself alone on the backside. Upper 90, 1-0 Brown. A set-piece goal for Shell from Schlosser. That was beautiful.
Well, talked about taking advantage of opportunities in that these teams were too good to allow very many quality chances, and it didn't look initially like there was going to be much room to fit this one in. There wasn't, but how about Layla Shell? First goal of the season, 4th of her career, and someone who spends a lot of time on the back line gets the Bears on the board.
Shell has been a target for the Bears on set pieces in the past. Bears are going to make a change as well. We saw Harvard checking in Lloyd for Sarah Lloyd, the first year from Denver, replaces Jasmine Leshnick. And Ella Weil will head off, being replaced by Aminata Davis, which means Shaheen will move up top, and Davis will move to that right wing of the midfield. Gunlashdotter, and you expect Harvard to come back with some authority here. Well-timed tackle there by Lexi Quinn. And Trenor, and you know what? That corner kick set up by that run by Trenor. Again, it's little things that Coach McNeil said the Bears need to do to be opportunistic. 6 minutes remain now here in the first half. The throw in from Trenor was looking for Shaheen, didn't have the juice to get there. Gianna DePriest out towards center, settled by Gonzalez. She's gets around DePriest. That's a good touch. Hasbo broken up by Quinn. Didn't get a good strike to release it and get it away. And back to the right side. It's played back Gunlashdotter, Rayhill, and now Hean's daughter Gonzalez for Gunlashdotter again. Looks like she's going to try and chip it ahead. Headed down, Schlosser, good look. Harvard trying to get free and unable to turn was Golan. It's sent away by Davis. Ball a little behind Shaheen. And August Hunter switches it back out to Rayhill, right side. Hunter making the run all the way up from that back line. Turns to the end line, and Shukwu says enough of that. We'll just play it out for a throw.
Well, there's the response from Harvard. They've immediately gotten into the attacking third and thought Golan was going to have a good look. The ball bounced on her. She couldn't quite corral it, and things got a little discombobulated.
All played out. Shaheen working on the near side. Nice stick there by Shukwu, and again it'll be a Harvard throw. Middle of the field, Hunter looks to switch. Nice read by Schlosser. Schlosser in transition. Bears trying to counter. Schlosser looking to lead up that right side. Plays it to center, just too far in front of Davis. And sending it away, Aaron Gordon finds Golan in the midfield. Out ahead for Sarah Lloyd. Lloyd switching. Cuts back. Good counter defense by the Bears. They're going to get a foul on Naya Cardoza. And, Cardoza not too happy about it, but it'll be a free kick for the Crimson in a pretty good spot as the clock winding under 4 minutes. It's going to be August Hunter on the free kick for the Crimson. Very impressed with her level of play as she puts it up into the mixer. And Bella Shop, there was contact with Shop, so I don't know that if that ball had found its way or roll across the goal line, it would have counted. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there was a whistle that came in. Crowds, in the frenzy of the crowd, think I did hear a whistle, so that would not have counted. But Harvard, again, has strung together a couple of strong minutes since that goal scored, and the best look we've seen for them really off a set piece so far.
Yeah, it was Sydney Farnham, the senior. Tall target at 5'10", drifting into Bella Shop. Second ball, coming away with it is Gunlestadter. Swings it across, well read by the Crimson. Golan, the touch by Layla Shell to get past Hasbo. Flashes out to Shukwu, and she'll send it on a line. Good look for Shaheen. Shaheen's working 1-on-4. Davis making a run left side. Tough touch for Shaheen, and Hunter has to swing it out. And it'll be a throw-in for the Bears. Quick counterattack, though, for the Bears, almost causing a problem for the Crimson. They got back numbers behind the ball in a hurry as well. A tough throw-in for Shukwu from her classmate Trenor. And it'll be a throw-in for Harvard, given right back.
And you see Brown continuing to play fast. They want to finish out this first half on their terms. Obviously want to go into halftime up by 1. But you'd like to go in not letting Harvard sort of go in with that momentum.
The Layla Shell goal, that one deflects off Gunlestadter. And it'll be another throw-in for the Bears as we hit the 2-minute mark here in half number 1. Trenor throws it in. Headed by Gunlestadter, touched by Robinson, and it will roll past the end line. Goal kick. 100 seconds remain here in the first half. Again, Harvard a year ago, the number 2 seed in the Ivy League tournament. Dispatched of Princeton, then defeated Columbia on this field to win the Ivy League's tournament championship. Brown, the regular season champion a year ago. They were knocked off by Columbia in the first round after a 7-0 league mark in the regular season, including a 2-0 win over Harvard. Crimson have been certainly the class with the Bears over these last couple of seasons. And here comes Gonzalez through center. Good look.
1 minute.
Turned by Sarah Lloyd. Lloyd cuts back. Good ball possession here by the Crimson. Gonzalez back to Hunter, who looks like she's going to switch fields. That ball sailed a bit. Hasbo tries to get there. Battles with Cardoza in a battle of sevens. Hasbo comes away with a good look. Gunlestadter had it knocked. Didn't get a good rip at it. And that's going to glance off Hasbo for a Brown throw. But you saw how dangerous Hasbo can be very quickly.
Yeah, she turned on the Jets in a great pass off to, I believe it was Vandenheide, and just could not quite get the shot off. Brown really forcing the Crimson into that mistake, and now should be able to run out the rest of the half.
Shaheen, ball bounces back on her. It'll be knocked over the head of the Brown back line, and that will run. That'll take us into halftime. A Layla Shell header finds the back, who came out late in the half, remains on the sideline. And it actually looks like Harvard, from the looks of this, is going to three backs. They're going to try and put some heat on the Bears. Ball is kicked off. We are underway. Cardoza from Okonye. Up the right side, Shaheen locking in on Aaron Gordon. And we're underway for Paul Lambert on behalf of our entire hardworking ESPN team. My name is Mike Rubin. Thanks for making us part of your Saturday evening, folks. We've had a dandy of a game. The only other Ivy League women's game going on right now is being played down at up in Hanover, and at last look it was 1-0 in favor of the Yale Bulldogs. The other two games, both 3-0 decisions. Princeton over Cornell and Columbia over Penn. So right now, the Brown Bears, the only home side to be on the right side of a decision, though there is a long way to go in this one.
Well, put in perspective, how tough it is to score against Harvard. That's just the Browns' goal that they scored. That was just the 7th goal Harvard's allowed so far this season. And Harvard didn't allow it as much as Brown earned it. 4.5
games without a goal to start the season for this Harvard defense before they gave up a couple here and there. But as Paul just said, this is a stout defense, to say the least. Bella Schopp will put the ball down. Goal kick coming out. Robinson, Weil, trying to lift it over Mady, who's got a bandage, it looks like, on her forehead from where she collided with Hasbo. Cardoza and Francois draws the foul. Again, they've called this one fairly tight, Paul. They're not letting a lot of physical play get in the way of really Brown's style of trying to impose sort of that physicality. Here's Gunler's trying to serve. Cardoza wins it in the air. Mady through the midfield. Weil looks to turn. Hunter all the way back for Gordon. And they'll play Vanden Einde all the way back for Rhiannon Stewart. Hunter, Stewart, now here comes Weil, putting it under a little bit of pressure. Oh boy, that was closer than it looked from up here. Okonye on the far wing, trying to lock in on that right side. It looks like Golan is on. It's Rahill who is out. I apologize. So they have definitely gone to one fewer back, has Harvard, to start this second half. Good read by Schlosser. And Gordon will let it run. Checking to the ball comes Francois, and now Hasbo kicks it to center, but that is well beyond the reach of anybody in a black jersey, and picked up by Bella Schopp, who was kind of playing some sweeper keeper there in the back line.
And you already see it at the start of the second half. Schopp saying, hey, let's wait till everyone gets down there to collect this goal kick before we start hurrying things up. Now we get to play with the lead.
Ball settled at the top of the box by Stewart. Farnham. The ball runs through. Weil drops it off. Shaheen takes a drive, and that is deflected. Or it's going to be a goal kick. She kind of clubbed it with her foot. Didn't have a great look, did Shaheen? It looked like it deflected off her shin guard, didn't it?
Well, it initially got to Shell, and I'm not sure Shell was expecting the ball to get through to her initially. And so Brown all of a sudden not really setting up an attack. Shaheen just sort of trying to get that shot off initially and ends up well wide.
Well, here come the Crimson. Golan ahead for Leshnik, back all the way on that right side. It'll be played ahead by Farnham. Out to center, Francois. And again, they're going to get Cardoza for a foul. And referee certainly seems to have Cardoza's number. Not that Cardoza didn't warrant a couple of the calls. I don't want to get that impression. But she has to have that awareness now of the man in orange. Left side, Gunler's daughter. trying to lead it through for Gordon making the run. Good take there by Schlosser. And Cardoza leads it out. That went out of bounds and then curled back in, says the AR on the near side. Kia McNeil doesn't like it. The Brown bench, incredulous. Throw in for Harvard. Ball bounces back to Gunlestadter. She turns on Shaheen, and Mady now back for Ein Vandeninde and all the way for Hiensdottir Gonzalez. Over to the right side, Fardham. Plays it ahead for Leshnik. Met by Mady. Here come the Bears on a counter. Leshnik able to recover and get it back to Gonzalez out to that right side. And there's Golan for Leshnik again. Good lead for Francois. And Schlosser says he'll clean this out. Francois going down, looks back to the official. No foul called there. Let's take a look at the challenge. There's the entry pass. And right there, again, Cardoza's got to be aware. She's got her hands in the back.
Well, that's the matchup. Remember, there have been a couple fouls called, not just in the second half, but on that Francois-Cardoza matchup in the last few minutes. And if that whistle's called there, far and away Harvard's best chance of the game so far to score. Instead, have to hit the reset button on the back line. 38 minutes and 40 seconds, that's a lot of time, but you don't want to, you want to get this, you want to create a push because it may not be that first shot, but here come the Crimson.
The lead ahead, played through and scored! A great ball up the wing, and the Crimson have gotten the equalizer. It took them 6.5 minutes, Paul. That is a great finish for Anna Rahill.
And it all starts with the pass to Rahill. It gets her in stride. Her second goal of the season. This ball gets through two Bears.
Yeah, turned right through Trenor. Bang, bang play into space. Just a great let. What a terrific ball. And Rahill, the sophomore from New Hartford, New York, has the finish. And we are tied at 1.
Harvard goal, her second of the season.
Second goal of the year for Rahill.
The assist to number 14, Irina Hiensdottir Gonzalez.
So Hiensdottir Gonzalez, obviously the brilliant assist. And we are tied at 1. Here comes Weil. Has shown some range in the past. Lifts that one up and over the top. As it'll be a goal kick coming out. New life for the Crimson, who got one and got one quick here in the second half to tie the game at 1. Nice stick over there by Mady. And trying to find a Cognier. And there'll be a foul called on the Crimson, who can't believe it. But it'll be a free kick for the Bears in a good spot if you're a Bear fan. A Cognier will put it down. See if they're going to send Schlosser over to take it.
It feels like things starting to open up at the start of the second half. The chances, Harvard's gotten some good chances. Not to say Brown hasn't, but now they answer with a set piece of their own. Really the best in terms of free kicks that they've had so far tonight.
There's Schlosser's service. It's in a dangerous spot. And scored! No! The flag is up for offsides. And there is, that goal's coming off. It's the second goal to come off the board for the Bears. Let's get a look. Is Shaheen behind? Shell is absolutely behind. Yeah, and she heads it. So, yes, that was offside. It's the right call.
Yeah, got behind everybody. And if offside was not a call, then she would have her second goal, and it would be a 2-1 Brown lead. But still like Brown getting a good chance off the set piece less than a minute after, or less than a couple minutes, I should say, after Harvard gets their first goal.
Ball played back, Schlosser. Bears trying to get back on the front foot here. Shaheen on the right side. Looking to take Erin Gordon on the wing. Nice strip there by Gordon on the challenge. Out to Gunlestadter. Schlosser had stepped up. Gunlestadter on the receiving end of the pass from Vandeninde. Shell lost the handle. Gonzalez, middle of the pitch. Touches for Vanden Einde. She'll go back to Gordon. Bears trying to buzz a little bit. Near side, Gunlichsdotter. And we said a lot of soccer left to be played, and the Crimson getting one quickly. Quinn, the slide, right side, Farnham. Over to the right side for Rahill. Served up and over the top, headed by Cardoza. It'll come to Gunlichsdotter on the near wing. She's going to play that off Schlosser. Schlosser battling on the near wing with Gunlichsdotter, who plays it back for Gordon. Gordon, a nice touch. Vanden Einde leaves it off. Gonzalez working her way through. She has range and fires it wide. But it was wide because of a deflection. And thus, it'll be a corner kick for Harvard. I believe their third of the match, first of the second half.
Yeah, and through the first now 10 minutes of the second half, it's been a Harvard-controlled second half. They've gotten some good looks. And despite that Brown free kick, the goal taken away because Shell was offside, now another chance it'll be Gunlichsdotter to take this free kick, or to take this corner kick, excuse me.
Capitalizing on corners, a goal of the Crimson. They have a lot of players up. Bears with 11 in the box, counting the netminder, of course. It's a good ball. Cardoza gets ahead on it. Chasing it down is Weil. Finds it and just sends it away. She's frustrated. She was hoping to direct that to Shaheen, but it went out of bounds. And it'll be a throw-in for the Crimson. And they bring over Gunlichsdotter. Throw in for Francois. Gunlichsdotter back. Gordon. Take away there by Robinson, but a heavy first touch. Mady out ahead, trying to send Shaheen right side. She's in behind, but here comes August Hunter. Gets the turn, plays it in front. No one there, a dangerous ball. But the Bears had checked past it, unfortunately. Leshnick and Quinn on the far side, and Leshnick gets around her. Here comes Trenor, trying to slow it up on the double. Nice challenge there from Quinn. The ball turns to Gunlichsdotter. A nice closeout there by Schlosser. Gunlichsdotter the tackle from Schlosser out to Shaheen, and the ball just came up with a little too much English off of Shaheen's midsection for a throw-in. Back and forth, though. This is like a playoff game, Paul.
I was going to say, I don't think, if these two teams end up meeting up again in November, I don't think anyone would complain. What a fun first half and 12 minutes in this second half so far.
The goals scored there in the first half was Shell in the 39th minute. '52nd minute for Rahill. Shaheen on the near side. Ball bounces. Hasbo, I think that's off of Robinson. Yeah, it was. I think that's the right call. Much to Kia McNeil and her staff's chagrin. Looked like it kind of did a little turn as she made that dozy-do in the midfield. Francois marked by Robinson. Just running this out here with 5 freshmen on the pitch right now. Take away from one of them, that's Trenor. Trenor a first year, Weil, Shaheen, Robinson, and Mady. And we've seen Chukwu as well with some minutes today. All among this talented first-year class for Kia McNeil. Again, the Bears graduated a senior class last year that was generationally excellent, including a 3-time Ivy Player of the Year and Offensive Player of the Year. And Harvard's doing this without the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Jade Rose. Unfortunately for her, she's on the sideline. Okonye will check off. That'll be Kira McGuire heading back on, the senior from Hingham, Mass. Okonye to the sideline. About 13 and a half minutes gone in this second half. Shaheen. Mady. And it'll be Hunter all the way back. Bears trying to lock in. And Robinson, hands in the back of Hasbo. Gunlichstadter swings past Shaheen. Leads that one ahead. Ball had eyes for Francois. Great turn by Cardoza. Tries to fight off Francois. And one glances off Weil and sent away by Hunter. Some contact there between Weil and a couple of Crimson players as she was freight training her way through. Little flick comes to Robinson, plays it ahead. Does the Bear first year from Bowie, Maryland. And they'll put the ball down for Gunlichstadter to take the throw. As we are tied at 1. Again, the first half goal was Layla Shells. The second half goals, Anna Rahill for Harvard, and she has the ball on her foot on the right side. Continues to take her space, plays it ahead. Good look for Leshnik, who's been pretty involved on that wing. And Quinn tries to charge through. Leshnik looking to drop the pass off Vandeninde. Comes back to the near side. Hasbo goes down, trying to draw the foul. It wasn't there. And now the referee letting them play as it looked like Mady got taken down. Schlosser turns. Here comes Shaheen. Has Weil at center. Will take her space on the right side. 5 Crimson players getting back. Shaheen continues to take her space. Looks to go one-on-one with Gordon. Near side. Here comes August Hunter. And that's going to be a corner kick. No, it's going to be a goal kick. I was trying to read it from this angle. It was hard to tell whether it went off Hunter or Shaheen. So maybe a little bit of wishful thinking if you're a Brown fan.
It was very close. It looked live. Flag came up. Goal kick, and that's one that goes, not that it goes Harvard's way, earned it, but it's a call that allows Harvard to, again, reset on the back line. And you feel the aggression from Harvard. They're a team that's very good at playing with the lead. Want to get in front, but they turn it over to Brown.
Good touch from Mady from Weil. Couldn't pull the trigger. Here's Shaheen. Looks to turn. Double teamed. Catches a pass back for Robinson. She finds Schlosser. Here comes Francois. Schlosser on the right side. Mishit. And it's going to be a throw-in for the Crimson. Mady. Again, Hasbo goes down. Some of these Harvard players kind of looking over at the bench, I think wondering if, we've seen the sort of fluid motions of the way they play, maybe looking to see where the next move will be. There's going to be a throw-in. That's going to give the Bears an opportunity to get a change. And it looks like Hasti Golami is going to check in for the Bears. Golami, the native of Lower Saxony, Germany, replaces Najimati. 17 and a half minutes gone here in the second half. Ball lifted, headed down Robinson. Golami in the midfield. Run through to Francois. Comes away with the ball. Play on called by the Crimson. Left side Gunlichstadter, called by the official for the Crimson as they had the advantage. Gunlichstadter looking to switch. McGuire will steal the ball. Midfield, here's Shell. Cuts back on Gunlichstadter, continues to take her space, leads it ahead. Can Weil get there? No, it's going to be sent away by Stewart, not taking any chances. Schlosser on the throw-in for the Bears. One glances off of the chest of Weil. I mentioned a pretty good crowd on hand here at Stevenson Penn Sense. There was a good crowd earlier today, 10,000 strong at the football game. Saw a few hundred folks at the field hockey game earlier today as well. Robinson, Hasbo on her back. Schlosser looking to serve. couldn't sneak it through to Weil. Comes back to Schlosser. And Layla Shell comes to Shaheen on the near side. And Shaheen forces the issue. Gordon and now Gunlichsdotter. Francois whiffs at it. And out to the left side, McGuire for Trenor. Can Trenor catch up to it? She cannot. A little too much English on the pass. And it'll be a Harvard throw. Change coming for the Crimson. They're going to get Nicola Golan back in for Aslaug Gunlichsdotter. Good minutes for her, though.
Yep, came in, didn't start, but someone who, another strong game for her after having both of those goals against Santa Clara. Didn't get the goal here, but earned the assist, a well-earned assist on that goal for Harvard.
All the way back, Hunter for the goaltender, stripped by Shaheen. Shaheen working her way in and shanked the shot. She had Weil in front. I don't know if she had a good pass for Weil, but the shot is one she's going to want back, Paul.
Yeah, it's wide to the right, and it's a mistake. Initially, Stewart doesn't quite get it over to Aaron Gordon. And I don't know that there was a lane to pass it up, but the shot does end up wide of the near post. And when an opportunity that came up quickly for Brown, Bears can't capitalize on it.
Well, if you're watching in split screen mode, Yale and Dartmouth are tied at 1 as well, as we've got some pretty good soccer being played here on a Saturday night. Left side, fresh legs for Golan. Working against Cardozo, well-timed slide. However, it will be a corner kick, and the referee's going to the pocket. And he's showing a yellow card, I believe, to Hasti Golami. I didn't see it, Paul. I'm not going to begin to speculate. I was following the ball. I think something happened behind the play. It was definitely against Galami. You saw him indicate with the number 2 there. He was telling us peace, y'all. I think it was I think it was the number 2. What do you think, Paul?
I'm going to say
I crossed you up there, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You got me there.
It's a good corner kick by the Crimson, headed by I think it was McGuire. So, Heinsdottir Gonzalez, the native of Kapavogur, Iceland. It's a good corner, well struck, headed down. Throw in for the Bears. It'll be an opportunity to change.
And as this second half goes on, this is something Browns is in the bag of tricks a little bit more for when you've got that deeper bench and you've got more players you can go to. You can start subbing out and getting fresh legs. That's why Harvard, I think, wants to get in front early on so that they can play on the back line the remainder. But fresh legs for Brown right now.
Weil and Robinson off. Chukwu and DePriest come in, so Chukwu will move to the wing of that Shaheen was playing. Shaheen will move up top, DePriest to the more interior midfield position. So the midfield for the Bears is now Shell, Galami, and DePriest, along with McGuire and Chukwu on this near side. The lone striker, the center forward, is Shaheen, but now she overlaps with McGuire. Here comes McGuire trying to get in behind. Can she get a touch? August Hunter, a little miscommunication. Chukwu gets in, turns the shot, blocked by Hunter, leaves it back, and it's a wade by Vandeneinder. Yeoman's work by the defense to deny clean shots for the Bears. Great work by 3 Harvard defenders. More importantly, they didn't take a foul. And that'll be a throw-in for the Bears, redirected off of Aaron Gordon.
Well, Gordon does a good job to send that ball back the other way and prevent a corner kick.
1-1 game. We're more than halfway through this second half. Big throw from Schlosser. Headed down by Shell, knocked away by Sidney Farnham. Schlosser checks back to the ball, missed Cardoza in transition. She'll work all the way back, squares it off for Lexi Quinn along the lacrosse restraining line on the field here. And some lacrosse being played this morning out here. Well, I was next door at field hockey. Harvard winning 4-0 there. The 10th-ranked Crimson improving to 2-0 in field hockey action. Great run on the right side. They put it across, and it's settled down. Golan's shot is up and over the top, but when there was some danger there on that ball put across, Cardoza getting ahead to it.
And this is when these games get really fun, when the field opens up and you see Brown getting chances, Harvard answering back with chances. Looked like it bounced on Golan and just not in the spot where she's able to spot that shot up and get a good look. Results in a goal kick, one that Bella Shop will happily take. And now you all of a sudden see her getting these back toward the midfield a little bit quicker than at the start of the half when the Bears were leading.
21 minutes remain here in this one. That one, a missed touch by Gordon, will allow the Bears to counter. To the corner, they tried to get it to McGuire. Vandeneinde's touch. Hunter lifts it out towards midfield. Francois settles. The touchback for Hasbo. She hasn't had too many touches in the second half, able to make things happen when she does. Left side, here comes Golan, a sophomore from San Francisco. Pulls back on Schlosser, then ran down Schlosser. Advantage for the Bears. Schlosser went down awkwardly, though, gets up a little slow. Cardoza for Chukwu on the right side. Fights off Hasbo, and now they'll get a call after the advantage had gone away. It took a little while for the call to be made, but it was made by the official. Schlosser seems to be okay, but she definitely had a big collision with Nicola Golan.
Physicality's definitely ramped up as this second half's gone on.
Here's a look at that collision as Cardoza puts the ball down. Here you see the tackle, and there it is, just the way they landed. Back to the action. Here's Cardoza's service. It's a good ball in the air. Galami trying to get ahead to it, headed back toward the net, and gobbled up by Rhiannon Stewart. Not sure if that might have been going wide, Paul, but it was a good sequence there for the Bears entering the box.
It's always scary when they get bumped up like that, and you're waiting for it to come down. Stewart not taking any chances, makes a play on it, able to secure and work it to the back line.
Bears will have a throw. They have two Bears waiting to check in. The fourth referee never made blew the horn, and now it'll be a Harvard throw, and the two Bears waiting at midfield will have to wait a little longer.
There's been some pressure from the Bears attackers on this Harvard back line, has made getting the ball back in play a little bit more difficult. Harvard not looking as comfortable maybe as they like back here.
Golan, here comes Schlosser, she's out of room. And this will give the Bears an opportunity to make the change. Galami off for Robinson. And back in will be Naja Mady, will replace Layla Shell. So I think this is an opportunity for the Bears to get quick breath of fresh air and some water for Shell and get her back out there for the crunch time. One's thrown in over the head of McGuire. Can Hunter track it down? She does. Puts it out towards center. Falling back on the ball, Robinson got a head to it. Oof. Collision with Francois and Schlosser. And are they going to bring Weil back on? I thought they might stop play there to take a look at Francois. That was a nasty hit.
Yeah, it was scary whenever you've got players leading with their heads toward one another, and you hope not to see that kind of contact. Good to see Francois. Looks like she's staying in the game. Looks all right.
Shahin checks off for Weil, who's unable to turn. That deflects off of Golan. Shot totals in this one favoring the Bears 7-4. Shots on goal 3-1, but the Crimson making the one count. Mady puts it across, just missed McGuire. Good service by the Bears, but they were unable to get a foot on it. And it'll be a goal kick. Crimson do have a player checking in. It looks like it'll be Lloyd for Francois. Not necessarily a surprise, Paul.
No, now Lloyd, who another first year who stepped in and gotten plenty of minutes, approaching 400 minutes on the season already as a first year. Again, when there's so many different pieces really for both Harvard and Brown, as a first year getting a lot of minutes, it says a lot about who you are as a player.
Mady turns, and the string on the ball, it seemed. DePriest trying to put it over the top. Here comes McGuire. Over the head of Chukwu and sent out by Vandeninde. Checking back to the ball, Lloyd. On the right side, Schlosser keeps it moving. Can Chukwu get there? No, she cannot. They're going to, I think, get a little wiggle of the flag. Is there going to be a foul, or are they just going to make it a goal kick? Nope, they are going to call the foul on Chukwu. August Hunter will put the ball in play. Inside 16 minutes to play here, second half. And out of bounds at midfield. It'll be a Brown throw. Crimson have Ausla Gunlichsdotter getting ready to check back in. She'll have to step back, though. Schlosser to take the throw in. Men's soccer, you can change on any stoppage now, but in the women's game, it's still the same rules we saw a year ago. Again, headed out of bounds, this time by Vandeninde. Weil turns, deflects that one off. It looked like it was off Golan, but much despite Weil's protestations. It's going to be Gunlichsdotter on, and I think stepping back is Golan. Golan didn't seem too happy about it, did she? And Angelina Vargas will check in for the Bears, replacing Isabella Chukwu. Bears trying to keep some fresh legs on the pitch. Lloyd stripped. Mady, Weil, the centering pass. Here's McGuire, look to pull the trigger, lays it off left side. Trenor, the drive is wide, and I think the Bears would have liked to have seen McGuire be in a position to immediately shoot, but gave it to Trenor, who had the angle.
Yeah, that was, again, it just didn't quite materialize. Did the look for Kira McGuire. So instead off to the first year, Trenor just a little wide of the far post. But again, Brown continuing to play up, continuing to play aggressive. And you mentioned getting players back in for crunch time. Crunch time's now 14-15 to go. Starting to get that sense of next goal may be, well, what does it?
In the midfield, trying to turn, they drop it off. Mady has some room, and the shot is deflected for a corner kick.
Saw one of those for Harvard in the first half. Start of the second half. And now another set piece for the Bears. It's a good look, and it did get deflected. Sort of knuckled wide.
Bears bring McGuire over to take the corner kick. She plays it short. Schlosser has some room, puts it in toward the mixer, and that went off of the Crimson player. I'm not sure who it was on the closeout. It was fast and deflected right off of, I think it was Gunlichsdotter.
Yeah, sold out trying to get in front of it. I think it caught her on the head. And anytime you see that, it's an immediate stoppage.
Second time we've seen a stoppage for what appeared to be a head injury, and Coach Chris Hamlin will have a decision to make. Gunlichsdotter had just come on for Nicola Golan. And Gunlichsdotter going through the protocol with the trainer. Good to see her up. And it's the second time we've seen a stoppage. Earlier, it was Mady and Hasbo colliding. And, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Hamlin and this Harvard team. And what they've been able to do this year with the amount of injuries. Yeah, I caught a right smack on the side of the face. And, be a drop. And I believe the Bears had the possession. So my guess is They're going to drop the ball. Vargas will play it back, and will restart play. She will give it exactly back to Schlosser, who chips it up, headed back in front and diving across. Rhiannon Stewart gets her paws on it to keep this a tie game.
She's had two very impressive saves tonight. This is a 2-1 Brown lead, it looks like, off the header. It just gets her fingertips on it, sends it wide. Harvard will say, we'll take the corner kick. We'll worry about that later. But for now, it remains a tie game.
Schlosser will take this corner. She'll take it as an in-swinger from that far side. And here comes the service. It's a good ball. It's out towards the penalty stripe. Cardoza, the drive to score! Weil was Johnny on the spot, and the Bears have taken a 2-1 lead. Bears are dangerous for the second time on a corner kick, and they have taken a 2-1 lead. Let's get another look.
And both times they've earned the goals. Stewart has been in position. She's gotten her arms up. And just past her fingertips on this look.
Wow, it was Cardoza, the initial header, who will get credit for the assist on the Schlosser corner kick. And we've got a 2-1 game. So, Paul, we have seen this before. Harvard answers the bell extremely well. The Bears this season have had to learn how to win a little bit and haven't always played great with a lead. As Hasbo plays that towards center, Cardoza keeps it in. It'll be a throw-in, not a corner. The Bears cannot afford to play bend, not break defense.
That is an awesome play by Cardoza to get back there. Credit to Weil on the goal, by the way, picking up right where she left off against Northeastern. The first year who stepped up, already her fourth goal of the season.
Well, and here comes another formation change. Harvard is bringing out Susie Long and replacing the number 3 Sydney Farnham. So they are going for it here with inside 12 minutes to play. Keep in mind, folks, there is no overtime. So Harvard needs to get one punched out by Bella Shop. Chasing it down, Hasbo pushes it across Schlosser, the header, and Mady sends it away. Angelina Vargas with the tackle, and it comes out of bounds. Susie Long will take the throw for the Crimson. Weil putting some pressure. If you thought this one was at about a 10 on the 1 to 10 energy scale, it's about to go 1.21 gigawatts here.
It's at a 12 right now. These next 11, 15 are going to be a lot of fun.
Here comes Trenor taking her space about 50 yards. Leaves it off, and Weil just knocks it over the top. What a run by Trenor as the Brown first years continue to impress in this, their first Ivy League game.
Now looks like we'll have another injury stoppage, but
yeah, I think it's cramping. I mean, quite honestly, chasing Trenor back there. I think it's the 4. Here's that look by Trenor.
Yeah, off of Weil, gets a good look off her left toe and just over the crossbar.
Yeah, it was the 4. A lot of running there for Erin Gordon, who's been a very busy woman on that back line. She's been very impressive, has the first year from Sydney, Australia. Again, Harvard playing without some of the best players in the conference who are all injured, and you can see how deep and talented this team is. That's out of bounds. Schlosser will take the throw-in. We're inside 11 minutes. Schlosser will take the throw. Mady shows to her. It's Vargas trying to get a swing at the ball. I think she's going to get called for a dangerous kick. And Long almost putting herself in harm's way. They'll play it all the way back for Rhiannon Stewart. Out towards midfield. Big win in the air for Cardoza. Near side, Golan tries to push it over the top. Here comes Cardoza. Sends it away. Schlosser will let it run. Golan will take the throw for Harvard. Takes it quickly for Vandeninde. She comes back near side. Golan heels to the near sideline. Plays it back long. Again, expanding the offensive play. Final 10 minutes of this one. As the lone 2 backs now, apparently, for the Crimson. are Hunter and Gordon, with the wing play of Long and Rahill, certainly more in an attacking posture. Here's Hasbo, run down by Robinson, who didn't like it. Quick restart for the Crimson. Getting back Trenor, trying to force that play out of bounds, and did just that. That is a veteran play by Kira Trenor on that left side. The first year from St. Charles, Illinois. That is a veteran play to force the goal kick.
It's not. It's the first year Weil with the goal, and then defensively Trenor. You would not know their first years with how they've played in the second half.
Well, the Bears have been doing this with, again, a lot of freshmen involved. The first years, Robinson, Trenor, Mady. We saw a lot of minutes from Shaheen, and, of course, Weil, the go-ahead goal. That is a foul, ladies and gentlemen. Nicola Golan, I think, is going to get booked. It does stop the clock as she gave the old 3-point takedown in wrestling now, not 2, of Gianna DePriest.
You knew a whistle was coming in. Question was, would the card come in? The answer to that is a yes as well. And you mentioned, Mike, it does stop the clock, so that's another 15 seconds that Brown can't sort of filibuster away from the game.
Government students, huh?
That was
pretty
civics
good.
And government.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that. Couple changes to report. Golan off, Francois on, and for the Bears, they're going to check off Vargas in favor of Aminata Davis. Davis is actually in for crunch time. One of the Bears' best possession players and has a ton of speed as well as fresh legs. If they can get it into a corner, again, a lot of time for the Crimson, so hard to play keep away quite yet.
Well, fresh legs on the back line at this point in the game. When Harvard's all in on scoring, you know you're going to need it for the next 8-18 of the game.
Francois, nice double between Cardoza and Schlosser, and it'll be lifted out towards midfield. Hunter August playing it all the way back was August Hunter, and now Hunter gets it back, looking to the left for Susie Long. Gets around Davis, chipped up by Cardoza in the midfield. Davis, second ball. Hunter, and now Robinson, Hasbo, and out of bounds for a Harvard throw. And now I think you might see the Bears get Layla Shell back into the game. Yep, she's going to check back in as we head to the final 7.5 minutes. What a game this has been. Back and forth all night long between two Ivy heavyweights. The clock will stop inside 15 minutes. Weil will check off, Shell back in. As Weil, the heroine of this one so far, had the go-ahead goal to make it 2-1. Her goal in the 78th minute. Naya Cardoza, Kylie Schlosser, helpers on the goal. Shots trending very much in favor of the Bears, 12-4. Shots on goal, 5-1 in favor of the Bears. And again, Francois, she's a warrior, Paul, but she is hardly 100%. You can tell she is very gingerly heading to the sideline. And this is a Harvard team that can't afford too many more injuries.
We've again, when you've got the roster, the smaller roster already, and you've got players that are out, it's having more players that go out is just going to have more of an impact on you when you've got a bigger roster. And so we'll see if Francois, if she wants to go check back in. She's also had a busy physical game so far tonight too.
The Crimson, we mentioned, without Jade Rose, who was trying to go. That's going to be a foul? No, it is not. Play on, called by the official. On the left side, that's Trenor trying to run that down. McGuire almost lost a shoe in the takeaway there. Hasbo dribbling in the midfield. Up the left side, Trenor, McGuire. Touches back, and Trenor, big deflection. That's going to run out of bounds. Some of the other players, we mentioned Vanessa Freley, Olaf Kristen's daughter, and Amy Koenig along with Lauren Muniz and Hilda Hakarnadottir, all unavailable for Coach Hamblin tonight. And again, we've seen a Warriors matchup between the Bears and Crimson. The Crimson have only gone 3 deep. Brought on Gunlishdottir, Lloyd, and Long. The Bears have gone 6 deep, so you got to believe that's part of the calculus in this one. Not making excuses, certainly. Davis, a little touch, trying to run through is Naja Mady. Has a couple of Crimson to beat, blasted a shot because the goaltender was well out. Left side, here comes Davis into the area. And August Hunter will turn towards the corner and send it away. Headed back down, Layla Shell finds Mady, who's had perhaps her finest game in a brown uniform so far this evening, has the native of Le Côte d'Ivoire, or the Ivory Coast, depending on where you're from. Francois, nice centering pass. Gonzalez, another nice ball for Rahill. She turns, plays it to center, and a dangerous ball. Lexi Quinn in a good spot to send it away, but that had a mark for Hasbo written all over it. Great counterattack by Harvard.
Again, these next 5 minutes and 45 seconds, Harvard's going to throw everything at Brown. It's incredible that Brown's only allowed the 1 shot on goal so far in the first 84 minutes and change. But this is the best look Harvard has had since, I think, scoring that first goal. And it's, again, you settle for the corner and you say, we'll worry about the corner later. Let's just get out of the mess.
1 in the air. First ball was Cardoza's. Side swiped at it did Leshnik. Cardoza runs through it. Leshnik comes away with the ball. Cardoza hobbles off of that a little bit. She kind of planted that bandaged right leg a little awkwardly, and it's out of bounds for a throw. There is no midweek game for either of these teams after this one, and you can see why. Columbia next on the slate for the Crimson. Up at Jordan Field as that ball is laid back and comes back to the left side. Long has some room, drives a shot that splits the uprights over the top. For the Bears, they are next in action next weekend down at Princeton, taking on a Princeton team that whitewashed Penn today by Cornell, by a 3-0 score. It was Yale and Dartmouth, and of course Columbia taking care of business against Penn. Yale has taken a 2-1 lead on Dartmouth, and actually that game's about to go final. It's in the 90th minute. This one has 4 minutes and change remaining. Leshnik feeling the wrong end of a tackle there. Rahill couldn't get there. DePriest sends it away. And McGuire with a touch. On the ball, Gonzalez to center for Van den Einde. Good look. That looked offsides. Play on, calls the official. Trying to cut back on the wing. Dribbling back. Van den Einde. Again, kept onside by Cardoza. A good challenge by Trenor as Sarah Lloyd on that far side, not Van den Einde, was able to keep herself with some space. 3.5 remaining. Here's the throw. Good show to the ball by Trenor, and McGuire sends it away, but out of bounds again. Another throw-in for Harvard. They've got all 11 players well up. The goaltender, in fact, is about 40 yards in front of her own net. And they'll throw that in to Gordon. Hunter August. I keep calling her Hunter August. That's because I played with a guy named Hunter Augustus, and it is August Hunter. She has been a special defender for the Crimson. Lifted across. Cardoza for Davis. Settled by Van den Einde. Stripped by Robinson, and she'll send it downfield, but it's out of bounds. And played back in by Hunter. And centered in the middle of the pitch for Gonzalez. She has the Harvard helper on the Rahill goal. 2.5 to play in what has been a prize fight, a battle of heavyweights here at Stevenson pins center field. A nice touch near side for Long. Keeps it moving for Francois. Tries to turn on Schlosser. Schlosser, good recovery, and that ball is going to turn out of bounds. And again, Francois slow to get up. I don't know which one of these Crimson players deserves the first trip to the ice bath, but they have battled with the short bench, deflected out of bounds off of Métis. Under 2 minutes. August Hunter on the ball, centers for Aaron Gordon. Little stab at it by DePriest. She sends it away, couldn't get it out too far. Hunter stabbing at it there was Robinson. Out to the left side, Francois hot-footing after it. Keeps it in by the end line. Schlosser. And now Hunter comes away with it, looking to serve, puts it across. Great ball! Lexi Quinn goes up and takes a header to it. But that was a terrific service by August Hunter. The junior from Seattle has been all over the pitch and almost delivers an equalizing assist.
And Harvard gets it right back in.
Bella Shop tracking back, gets her fists on it. Another corner kick for the Crimson. A minute remains. Hasbo sets it down. Here we go. Final minute. That's a great service. It bounces at the 6. Turned Bella Shop, I think, is on the ball. She is. Fearless play by the Brown goaltender as a mass of humanity converged inside the 6.
There were about 7 bodies around the ball. Shop gets on it, and that may very well, unless Harvard can really hurry something up, be all she wrote.
Well, here they come. 20 seconds is a lot of soccer, and there's a Crimson player down. Vanden Einde is holding her right leg. She landed very awkwardly and also slow to get up. There was a foul. I think Vanden Einde is cramping. Yeah, that's what it is. I can't imagine why. 19 seconds left. Vanden Einde down. The Crimson are going to bring everybody up. And I don't know if I don't know how much deeper Harvard can go, but Vanden Einde is staying down. They're going to bring up the goaltender, Rhiannon Stewart. And the referee is calling out to Coach Hamblin, and Coach Hamblin talking things over with the, actually I think that's one of his assistants actually talking things over with the 4th official. There's Hunter. She is again going to put this ball back in play. Lifts it towards the net. Bella Shop catches it with 15 seconds remaining. And that might be it for Harvard. Shop will push everybody upfield. And the Brown Bears are going to come away with a season-opening win over the Harvard Crimson 2-1 in what was an